So for today's video, we are talking about something interesting, a mix of personality typing and zodiac traits. Specifically, the combination of INTP and Taurus. This is part of my ongoing series where we explore different personality and zodiac combinations in a simple, honest, and observational way. No complicated theories. No extreme claims. Just patterns, behavior, and how people often try to understand themselves. Let's be real here. I don't fully believe in zodiac signs as fixed truth. But I also understand that a lot of people use them as a way to reflect on themselves or understand others. It's kind of like a mirror people choose to look into. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it confuses. But either way, it's interesting. And just to share a bit about me, I'm an Aquarius, and I also identify with INFJ traits. And honestly, that combination sometimes feels conflicting. Aquarius is often described as independent, detached, and a bit unconventional. Meanwhile, INFJ is often seen as emotional, intuitive, and deeply reflective. So imagine having both in one personality. It can feel like your mind is pulling in different directions at the same time. Aquarius and INFJ are often labeled as outsiders in their own systems. Not in a bad way, but more like they don't always feel fully understood in normal social spaces. So I naturally became curious about how other combinations work too, like INTP and Taurus. Now, let's talk about INTP. This personality type is often described as logical, quiet, highly analytical, and very internal. They don't always express emotions in obvious ways. Instead, they process everything inside their head. They question things. They analyze systems. They try to understand how things work instead of just accepting them. Now combine that with Taurus energy. Taurus is usually described as stable, grounded, patient, and very attached to comfort and routine. Taurus people are often consistent. They don't like sudden change. They prefer things that feel secure, familiar, and predictable. So when you mix INTP and Taurus together, you get something very interesting. On one side, you have a mind that is constantly analyzing everything, questioning ideas, and staying inside their thoughts. On the other side, you have a personality that wants stability, comfort, and routine. This combination can create a person who is mentally active but physically slow to change. They might think a lot, but act carefully. They may not rush decisions. They often prefer to observe first before making any move. In social situations, this kind of person may seem quiet or reserved, not because they have nothing to say, but because they are processing everything internally. They don't speak just to fill silence. They speak when something actually makes sense to them. Emotionally, this combination can be interesting. INTP traits usually make a person more logical with emotions, meaning they don't always express feelings openly. Taurus traits, on the other hand, can make emotions steady but strong underneath. So instead of showing emotions easily, they may hold them inside and deal with them privately. This can sometimes make them look calm on the outside, even when their mind is very active inside. In relationships, this type of combination may take time before fully opening up. They don't rush trust. They observe behavior. They look for consistency. Once they feel safe, they can be loyal and steady partners, but it takes time to reach that level. One important thing to understand is that personality types and zodiac signs are not fixed rules. They don't define if a person is good or bad. They don't control behavior completely. A person's actions can change depending on their environment, their experiences, their hormones, their stress levels, and the people they are dealing with. This is just a way of observing patterns, not labeling humans into boxes. So if you are an INTP who is also a Taurus, or you know someone like that, this is just a general reflection, not a strict definition of who they are. At the end of the day, people are more complex than any system can fully explain. And that's what makes it interesting. So, I want to open this space for discussion. If you relate to this combination, or if you know someone who fits this description, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I would really like to know your experience with this type of personality mix. Now, before the video ends, here is a quick disclaimer. This content is for learning, observation, and general discussion only. It is not meant to label, judge, or fully define any individual. Every person is unique, and real behavior depends on life experiences, environment, and personal choices. Zodiac signs and personality types are just tools for reflection, not absolute truth. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I want to be upfront and share that I use this text-to-speech voice to tell my stories because as a full-time ESL teacher, I have to be very careful with my vocal cords. Managing vocal nodules means I have to save my voice for my students, but I didn't want that to stop me from sharing these unfiltered thoughts with you. I'm Jhonna, and I'm currently working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can finally monetize this channel and turn this passion into a sustainable part of my future. This is my diary of solo living here in the Philippines, and your support, whether through a comment or a sub, helps me keep this channel growing. If you would like to help out even more, you can check out the Buy a Treat for My Pets link in the description. My dogs definitely appreciate the love. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next update. Thank you for being such an important part of this journey. I'm Jhonna, and I will see you in the next one.